You see, I'm extremely happy right now because finally science is talking about the same things that I've been saying to people since I was 19. But when I was 19 and it happened because I was on acid, I still had a big heart. I've always been a loving person. But at that point I had to shed off all my dogmatic ideas. And even though I wasn't in any kind of religion or anything like that, life itself, gives you dogma. Like, you hear stories and you believe them. And once you believe a story, it becomes true. Just like you believe your name is your name, which is true on one level. But I'm not going to go too much into that. The interesting thing is, the beings that do appear to you when you get to a higher vibrational state, they also have levels of consciousness. There are higher beings. And when you truly experience oneness, there's timelessness. And when there's timelessness, you can experience anything they mean by anything they say. Like, anything that's been said throughout time is right now. Anything that has been done throughout time, when you experience oneness, you can be there, experience it, and actually know it to be real. And it's not just a made-up thing in your head. I mean, you can also imagine, but it's not just a made-up thing in your head. There's a true vibration that takes you to oneness. So my job is to monitor what people are putting out there and correct it and tell them where it comes from, what they meant by it, all that kind of thing. And I know that sounds bold, but that's my job. I mean, I put this out in the collective consciousness in a place of timelessness, and it's showing up throughout time right now. Today, a video came out by Dr. Joe Dispenza talking about entities and beings that he talked to. I've been talking about that for quite a while, and everyone looks at me like I'm crazy. But I understand why. Nothing against Dr. Joe. He's awesome because he's learning how to do it in a scientific way. Well, I'm not a scientist. Well, a scientist with something saying that I am, but I am a scientist. I just didn't go to school for it. You don't have to go to school for anything anymore. You can study psychology at home. You can study spirituality at home. You can study anything you want to at home or wherever you are, driving around listening to audiobooks, audio tapes. But realize that everything you put into your head is a piece of a belief system of some sort. Nothing is completely real, but everything you believe to be true that shows up as reality in your life is real. So everything is real, but nothing is real in the physical world. If that makes any sense, it should, but some people just won't get that. What it really is I am the divine realitarian, the Dr. Dan, the divine realitarian. I don't know how to say it, but I just made that up because I'm a doctor in my own way, but it stands for divine realitarian. So, I have to have fun with it because all this crazy stuff that I went through, like, I've seen the evil energies and I've seen the evil beings and I've been through the past and I've been to the future, and those things are amazing. But as amazing as they are, if other people don't believe you, it makes you look stupid. So when you talk to people in this physical real world, they think you're crazy. And because no one else around them has experienced it either, they agree with them. So it makes you look bad. So the whole thing is to not tell too many people unless they have some kind of interest in what you're talking about, or else it will affect your mind and almost make you give up on your dogma, and even though or your dogma, but your reality, like the things that you've learned that are above the dogma. There's a reality that is above and beyond all that is what I'm supposed to teach people, because every reality in every person's aspect is true. There's no reality that can be concrete, because it's all up to you, each individual person. Think about a kid who doesn't know that much. His reality is whatever he's learned up to that point. Think about a teenager who's learned a little more. His reality is a little bit more, with drugs and sex and violence and more involved, and it's getting to be to the younger ages with that stuff, which is horrible, because that's not the reality we're supposed to be concentrating or focusing on. We should not be fighting each other over ideas. I understand if somebody's attacking you and your life is at risk, or somebody breaks into your house and they're trying to hurt you, then if you kill them, I guess that's understandable, because they are going to live on. But the whole thing is, if someone steps on your property, you got people that say, if you step foot on my property, I got right to shoot you. No, you don't. It's a fucking stupid rule that people said that that's okay. It's not okay. But people can believe whatever they want, because that becomes the reality. The government puts a rule or an amendment or a constitutional whatever they put up, a new thing that the government allows, people think that's reality, because that's what they're allowed to believe. If they do anything else outside those borders, they're looked at as a criminal, or looked at that is somebody who's got some kind of psychiatric problem and they get admitted to some kind of ward or hospital. And there's tons of people who have had spiritual enlightening experiences, but because of the dogma and their thought patterns and the negative stuff, they didn't portray it right, and they went crazy. I'm not going crazy. In fact, the only thing that almost causes me to go quote-unquote crazy is just more like anger and uncontrollable anger, but I can control it anyway. Like a little bit out of controllable anger is people telling me that I'm crazy and trying to take my kids away. Anything that has to do with my kids has always been my soft spot, and everyone knows that, and that's sort of why people do it. But it's sort of messed up that someone you used to love would do that to you. That's another personal point. I don't want to go there because I'm not coming from a place of damnness right now. I'm coming from a place of oneness. This is where we all need to learn from, because now that science is saying it, people will believe that. But there's still people who would watch that and even see proof and even see documented things. Could even see a person go from not walking to walking and just say, oh, it's a miracle. There is no such thing as a miracle. Life itself is a miracle. Anything in it is possible. So that's what people need to know, and that's what I'm here to show them. Dan, the divine realitarian.